Ashley Scott, and I'm Athena's top new goddess of 2020. I'm 33. I've got 2 kids. My son's 14 and my daughter's 8. I've been divorced for 4 or 5 years, something like that. I have a full-time job as an activities director at my local nursing home. In 2019, I went to my first Athena's party. One of my co-workers, she had been planning to have a sex toy party for years. And finally she found Melissa. I fell in love with the products right there. Melissa was great and we had so much fun. And I kind of hounded Melissa for a couple months after it because I'm like, I kind of really want to do this. When it came to the February Blitz, I talked with Melissa again and joined then. And at that time, I had no idea about Top New Goddess. I did 2 launch parties. I did them a week apart so that all my coworkers would be able to come because they work opposite weekends and stuff like that. I advertised on Facebook. I did group messages. I talked to all my coworkers, and I even sent out like little invitations. A couple days before the party, I sent out reminders to those people that said that they were coming, and then the ones that were maybes too. I went into the back office and I found like other Goddesses and Adoni demos. I went through and I saw how they were explaining things. I went to nose notes. I went to everything in the back office I could possibly find that would explain how these products work. I was nervous. Even thinking about it now, I think I was more nervous because they're people I know. I think my first one, I had 10 people. Some of them were showing up late. Some of them were already drunk by the time they got here. It went great. Everybody congratulated me and it just was amazing. They were both over $1,000 parties. And I think the second one, I think I had 15 people. So it worked out really well. Those were the only 2 live parties I ended up able to do before COVID hit in my area. And then everything just got shut down. When COVID hit and everything started shutting down, I was worried, but granted, at the time, like I said, I didn't know Top New Goddess was a thing at the time, so I didn't really have anything I was shooting for. But once I saw those numbers and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I really, really want this. I ended up joining like direct sales groups and I did a few party swaps with other companies, which actually gained me a lot of new friends and a lot of new customers. It was online parties. I was doing raffles and mystery bags and anything to keep sales coming in. I loved the BBWs where other Goddesses and Adoni were giving their, their views and their ideas and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I could do that. That could work. I was able to get a loan for a new car because honestly, my other one was falling apart. So I've been using my profits for that to make my car payments. Before Athena's, I always struggled to put fuel in my oil barrel, so I've been able to keep up with that. I've been able to buy, enough food to last a month. So it's really given me a sense of security. I don't feel like I'm going paycheck to paycheck and, well, actually paycheck like a week before paycheck. I knew when it came time for the January meeting, I didn't know how things were gonna go because I saw another goddess. She come in September and I saw her numbers jumping up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have this, but you know what? I'm gonna keep going. So actually I had my best friend here for moral support for me because either it was gonna be happy tears or it was gonna be sad tears. I was excited and I swore I wasn't gonna cry and I did anyway, but I was just over the moon about it. My son was cheering me on, my daughter was. Of course, then my son's first question was, you gonna buy me a PS5? I have never gotten a trophy before. So I'm really excited. It's my first one. My gift cards, honestly, I have never shopped at Macy's before. I ended up shopping online and Honestly, growing up, I never really had nice, expensive things. So I found myself going through and I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure I want to pay that for it. And then finally I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I deserve it. So I got myself a nice jacket, a handbag, some boots, some nice like professional clothes for work. I've got a new bedding set. I'm so excited about all of it. I've never had these really, really nice things. Right now, my main goal is getting the money for the Athena's trip in 2022. I have never been outside of the United States except for Canada. And I've only been down the East Coast as far as North Carolina. So I've never been really anywhere. So I can't wait to go overseas. That's basically my goal for the next year and a half. For those single moms, you can do it. You might have some challenges along the way, but if you set your mind and you really want something, you can find ways to make it work. If you don't think you can do it because you don't have time to do parties, you have the online option, and parties might only be a couple hours long. Don't get discouraged. Some things are gonna feel like they're gonna knock you down, but we're warriors. You get up, you keep fighting, and you keep pushing. And if you ever feel like you're in one of those places and you don't know what to do, reach out to any one of us. Use every resource that you have. There's stuff in the back office. You have your social media. Stay positive. This could be you. I didn't realize when I joined the family feel of Athena's. So that was one huge perk that I gained when I joined. I've made tons of friends with Susan and Alicia and Thomas and just so many more. You know, Melissa and Susan have been a big help when I've had questions, and I feel like I found a whole other family. It's not just Top New Goddess that elevated my confidence. Athena's has in its own. I wasn't a very outgoing person, and Athena's really brought me out of my shell. And with winning Top New Goddess, I'm like, wow, I achieved that. I'm proud of myself.